Good evening. Hello. How is everyone? How are you doing? Hello. Can we be naughty now? I don't know where I've put my phone, just a sec. I need to message the mod. I didn't know I was going live. How is everybody doing? I hope you're all good and you're going to have a good weekend. Have you got much planned? Hi, Gaz. Hello. Ellie Bell. Hello. How are you doing? Skadge Diaz. Have I said that right? Hi. Cheza. Hello. SR Spookfest. Hello. Hello, Sarah. Akariku. Hello. Gillian. Good evening. Beardo, good evening, Beardo. Yeah, long time no see. It's I'm getting a feeling of deja vu. Panaka, Taz, Mike. Hello, Mike. Mrs. Geek. Hello. Wow. Mrs. Geek saying thank you so much for the coins. You're a legend. Oh, no problem. Yeah, those coins. They've got a bit of age to them. I thought they'd be cool for some trigger objects for when you and Beardo go investigating. All the hands there must have passed through all the energy on those coins. It's our Spookfest. Did a live last night, not good evidence and touch. Last night, you got good evidence and touched and you screamed. Jack, hello, Jack. How are you doing? Callum, hello. I'm good, thanks, Callum. Still, actually, I don't know if this is the same for Beardo. What was that? Mrs. Geek said, "Oh no, I've added them into my antique cupboard at home." Oh, cool, nice one. Yeah, I've got quite a few of those. So, yeah, I kind of slipped them into Beardo's bag as he was leaving. What was I saying? Hello, am I okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm still catching up on lack of sleep, to be honest, from the haunted hotel. Don't know if Beardo feels the same. I've just spoke to Tony on the phone. He's feeling exactly the same. We're knackered. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Jack. Beardo, absolutely ruined. Still so tired. Yeah. As we was leaving the hotel, obviously Tony was driving, so I was trying to catch a couple of hours sleep because we got caught on the motorway and all that traffic going through like Leeds and Manchester and things. Callum didn't sleep very well last night. Yeah, Beardo, I really felt for you. I know it was quite a long drive for you, wasn't it? It was like, you say, 5.5 hours. And then obviously the investigation, a couple of hours sleep, then 5.5 hours back. I really felt for you. But you're going to get home and be absolutely shattered. Callum, paranormal hangover. Yeah, I've heard it called that before. I call it just getting old and being knackered. Mrs. Geek is super excited for the video. Yes, so we. I'm not going to give too much away, to be honest, on this. But a lot of people were contacting me, asking me what has gone on. And obviously, Mrs. Geek, Beardo will have spoken to you and you know what's gone on. Obviously, our mods, I've spoken to our mods as well, and they know what's gone on. But I'm not going to reveal exactly some of the really high points what went on, because I think it'd spoil it when my haunted hotel put it on. But it's well worth a watch. I will say that. Beardo saying he got home in 4.5 hours, all through country lanes. It was brilliant. Oh, nice one. Yeah, the scenic route back to South Wales. I'm not that old. I'm actually 50 this year. I feel every minute. Every minute of it. I won't say anything. Oh no. I'm just saying. I don't want to ruin it for. You remember when the Star Wars saga came out? The first three, what I call the original three from is it Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Jedi? When you found out that Darth Vader was Luke's dad, that can't. Before he was going into the cinema, the people were coming out and telling you. It's one of those things, isn't it? You want to see it for yourself. 50 isn't old. 50 is the new 60. That's how I feel. Gillian has no idea I was getting from Chester, from Lancashire. Beardo's 64. No, he's not. Did I like the people at the haunted hotel? Yeah, there was spot on. They were brilliant. Yeah, in September I'm 50. Is it Sarah that's birthday is round about the same as mine? SR Spookfest, not bad drive. I do 10 hours up to Mass. That's no fun. Well, it took Tony and I, it was 3 hours for us. But on the way home, we were starving. So we stopped in a Mackie D's and got some food. Here's US Purple. Huh? What? 6 is the new 70, yeah. 15th of September. Mine's 27th. Nice. Yeah. Well, it was too early to get fries. Tony was saying to me, I can't find the fries on the machine because it's one of them touchscreen things. I said, they don't serve fries before, is it 11? Beardo gets scared, saying the lads are at the hotel were brilliant, and I think they had as much fun as maybe more than us. Yeah. Because it was very, I will say it was active because it was. We were surprised that it was that active, to be fair. We could actually hear them because I radioed them, and I know Beardo, we all had radios, and was radioing the control, which was the staff from the hotel. And when things were happening, and we could hear as there was answerings back, there was screaming and shouting, and like, what? There must have been something going on. And they said, "Quick, get down here, get down here!" And it was showing us. It was absolutely brilliant. It's some good evidence. Yeah, they're all spot on. They're really good. Purple always thinks of Beardo as his grandfather. Is that right? Mrs. Geek went to the hotel way back when it, and it's definitely got something. Yes, definitely. Good stuff. I said you would like it at my haunted hotel. Yeah. They liked it so much. I mean, Beardo will tell you this. They was ready to go home at midnight, and there was there after 1:30 because things were happening. They loved it. They loved every minute of it. They loved watching us investigate. Jack's saying, guess what, Mark? I'm getting an old Masonic medal in the antique shop in Beverley next week, hopefully. Excellent, Jack. If you send me a picture of it, I can tell you exactly what it is. Auntie Kaylee, I'm good, thank you. I hope you're okay. So yeah, I have had a lot of communication with people asking me about the haunted hotel, which is why I thought I'd do this live, because obviously we missed the Wednesday. Although I tried to put a live up on Wednesday from, it was room 8 with the Grace doll. Is it Grace or Gracie? Grace, I think. Even in Babsy, one of the moderators is in. Oh, you're turning next at 7th of August at Haunted Hotel. Excellent. Excellent. It'll be a good night. Got a headache, but hearing a friendly voice helps. Ah, cool. Oh, it's Grace, is it, Beardo? Yeah. Obviously, when we turned up, I mean, I'm going to run through what happened, because we wasn't expecting it. And I said to Beardo on the night, I said, we're not used to not being in control, because obviously we was investigating for them, and they were kind of controlling us because we had radios on, and they were telling Beardo and Tony and I to go in various rooms. But it was strange because we'd got there, and it had taken us 3 hours, and I think Beardo was it 5.5 to get there. And I think Beardo got there an hour early, but we got there straight in. We unloaded our gear and straight away said, we want to interview you. So, yeah, cool. The interview with Beardo first, and then the interview like Tony and I at the same time. And that was it. Straight into the investigation. We hadn't had anything to eat. We hadn't had a drink. We was, what was that? We needed food. But anyway, we got on with it. And after an hour, we said to Danny, "So can we go down for a drink because we need a drink?" And this is where I was feeling for Beardo, because he'd been driving all them hours, and I thought, oh, he must be feeling it a lot more than we are. Is Grace scary? Only I don't like dolls. I don't like dolls, and I don't like clowns. And they've got like a doll room. And from the rafters and the walls and the ceiling, they've got clowns, and I hate clowns. And they were hanging. Obviously, I'm 6'2", so I'm headbutting all these clowns in the dark. But no, I didn't think Grace was scary. So yeah, I mean, we turned up. We unpacked all the gear because we only took. It looked a lot, and Beardo said it looked a lot, but that was only some of it, because we never know what we need. And I said to Tony, we need a separate vehicle for all our equipment. Yeah, Sarah saying, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Was anyone else there, Gaz is saying, apart from PSI and Beardo? No, we was expecting a third team or a third man, because that's what I was told when, what's his name? Is it Brett? Brett rang me up. He said, oh, we think Beardo's coming. He said, and there's another one, but he didn't tell me who it was. Akarika, which room did you stay in, Matt? Room 6 at the end of the night, but I'll go into that in a minute. Gillian's got phobia with dolls. Dr. Spook, hello. Headbutting clowns. Don't let Spalding hear that. Looked a lot. You could have sent a rocket to Mars with all that gear. The thing is, depending what's going on, you might need a specific part or I can say specific bit of equipment. So that's what we took. What we did, and I knew we wouldn't use half of it. We was all getting good audio responses, all of us. Beardo had a good experience. I won't say what it was. I'll let him sort that out on his video. But there's some really good responses. We got EVPs. So we went with the sound equipment rather than all the other little bits and pieces. It would have been good if Parple was there. Yeah, it'd have been good to meet him. Akarika, room 6 was your favorite. The doll face was changing. Well, funny you should, funny you should say that. I was videoing. I know I'd put a live camera up, and it was spare the minute thing. I thought, where can I just put this live? While we're walking around filming, I'll just leave my phone set up. And I thought, I'll just leave it at the Grace doll. The lighting was bad. And I was trying to put the lights on for you guys watching. But first time I've had issues with my phone as well. It just wouldn't, it'd do it for so long, then it just went off. It wouldn't let me put it back on. It was impressive. Just about to go to bed. Matt put stuff in every room, says Beardo. Yeah. Well, it was room 3 where something really cool happened as well. Won't say what it was until my haunted hotel does it. So I left a trail camera in there. And in the morning, I'd gone in to retrieve this trail camera, but I'd gone into Beardo's room because I couldn't remember where I'd put it. And Beardo was in room 2, I think. And he was in the bathroom, and I just, come to get me camera. Sorry, wrong room, sort of thing. He's watching that live. Right, okay. Badger, good evening. Hello, Panaka. The signal there is terrible. I was waiting for updates. Right, okay. That's Mrs. Geeky. Yeah. We should have asked them if we could kind of jump onto their Wi-Fi, but I'm not sure if they had it. Beardo saying the room 3 thing was epic. Yeah. You know what, Beardo? When I radioed down, I look. First of all, I didn't even realize that it was that what happening. Um, and I looked at Tony and said, "I'm sure this has just happened. I'm going to radio them." And the radio one, and I think they said, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, then we'll have a look." And within a minute, there was radioing back, screaming down the radio, "You need to get down here. Come and look at this. Come and look at this." So we all kind of rushed downstairs, and we thought, "Yeah, it was good. It's a good bit of evidence." Tony's camera was in the same room, pointing. His camera, their camera was in the top room corner, wasn't it, near above the door, I think. And Tony's camera was in that side, kind of at table height, pointing it. That had a better view of behind me. So he's looking through his footage. He's hoping he got it because he was running on 4K. And when he got to his camera, it was blinking, which means his SD card was full. So we were praying that he's captured that. If not, I know my haunted hotel captured that. Gillian said, "Yeah, Matt, we believe you." We are really skeptical, and Beardo is as well. And for us to be saying things like this, you know, you've got to watch it. It is worth a watch. Sarah saying the suspense is killing me. I can't cope. A hotel with no Wi-Fi. Surely you've got a pillow, chocolate at least. No, it wasn't one of them sort of hotels. We even took our own sleeping bags and just kind of slung them on the top of the beds. I gave Beardo a little present, and I think they thought I was taking the piss at first. It was a little UV torch, and I said to him, "Before you get in bed, just shine that on the beds," because it was some of them were just mattresses. I think that says enough. But not only that, UV light. If somebody's set up any kind of faking things, such invisible thread, UV light, obviously it bounces back, and you can see where it is. Yeah, Mrs. Geek, I think you know something we don't know. Lucky, says Annabelle. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing this. Is putting it up. I think they're putting it up on YouTube, Chesa. He said it would take 3 to 4 weeks. Very interesting. A spunk detector, says Beardo. Well, one of the mattresses, I can't remember what room it was. I'm not sure. And when Beardo was there, and when we give it, we said, "There's an ass print on that bed." You couldn't see it, but when you put UV light on, it was there. I'm like, I am not sleeping on that mattress. Hi, Tina. Is Tina here? Somebody just said, "Yeah, hello, Tina." Tina, yeah, Tina, please don't tell anybody what's gone on at the haunted hotel, because we signed a waiver not to tell anyone. Yeah, I wouldn't use a UV in a hotel room. You'd end up sleeping in a chair. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah. Spirits do interfere with electrical equipment. Yes. Yes. These. For those of you that's actually visited my haunted hotel before, room 8 where the grey stall is, has that made any of you guys feel ill? A lot of people have been saying that. I actually felt okay. There's like a plinth, like a long square wooden plinth, what they'd built, and stuck the glass tank on the top with a doll inside chained in this glass case. I know Beardo had asked them to go get a screwdriver to take it to bits so we could see what was inside. And there's no wiring. It's got its own little LED set of lights near the top of the glass thing, but it wasn't even enough to give off, because we went in after Beardo and was checking all the electrical cabling, the static, the temperature, everything. We checked everything in there, and there's nothing set up in there. Maybe some ghost plasma on the mattress. Yeah, ectoplasm. Do you know what? Some people would go to a place like that and have sex on that bed just to say that they've done it in my haunted hotel. But it was disgusting. You know, when I saw the those things with the UV lights. They're not sleeping on that bed. Sorry, I've just missed some comments. I'm going back up. You might get snowblind if you use it in a Tina's lips are seal. Going to have a keep an eye on all the YouTube channels involved. I so can't wait to watch the footage. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And I know Beardo went there for a specific experience, and I think he got that because we was talking to him afterwards about that experience. But the guys in the hotel, I mean, Beardo, he'll tell you, they were being pretty crafty, really. At first, they started sending us in separate rooms. Then, if Beardo had an experience in one room, they would ask Beardo to leave to another room and then send us to Beardo's room, what he's just had that experience in, trying to get us to debunk Beardo, and vice versa, sending him after us. And it couldn't be debunked what these experiences, what we all had. I have been, but I went before Grace and the others were put in. Okay. They let you check. Yeah, they let us check everything. Being debunkers and investigators, that's what they said, what they want to check. We even asked if we could check out the control room because we wanted to see their setup and check out all the controls, what they actually had. And we actually questioned them on camera if anything had been set up, because obviously it's a business and nothing in there is set up. Beardo saying room 8 has made me question things. Profound event. Yeah, definitely was an experience. And I can actually say this part about room 8, Beardo, after you had left and we was in there. Do you remember where I said we'd done a live? Because I think you'd gone to bed and we just wanted to check it again. Set the live, my phone up, doing a quick live. We heard a whistle, and some of these people that are on here will tell you that that's true because they heard it as well. There was a whistle in that room. Gillian saying, Beardo, you're not helping us with drip drop bits. I think it's one of the probably the best nights they've had in that hotel. I'll say that much. Certainly is active. Certainly. I don't think it's the doll though. I really don't think it's that doll in room 8. I think there's something else. That's my opinion. And I have got a video to put up. I've got a theory how that doll looks like it's moving as well, but I'll put it up in a video because I was filming that as well on my hand cam, and it looked to me like it was moving. But I'll put that in another video. When you're going to ask the lads if I can stay in room 5. I'm dying to get in that room. Room 5. I'm trying to think what room 5 is. Beardo, what was in room 5? Was that the clowns? Who's coming out first video? That is, we're letting Haunted Hotel come out with the first video before we put. To be honest, I can actually put my video up because the video footage, what I got, was just me in room 6 by myself trying to get to sleep at like stupid o'clock in the morning. Beardo actually got something in there as well, and I was getting that all the way through the night. It got me angry. I even shouted, "Pack it in! You know, I need to get some sleep. You're going to have to stop this." It was that active. Ellabelle saying, "Yeah, it was clear the whistle." Gaz heard the whistle. Someone legend, you should not whistle back or late at night. Is that right? This is geek. When I went and stayed in the sword room, it freaked you out the most, did it? I think I saw that. Is that the one with the sword on the ceiling? Is that room 5? Dan saying there's definitely child spirits there, or residual energy of children, and there's definitely a man from your experiences anyway. You know what? I think I'd agree with that. Room 5 is a dull room with a rocking horse. We had experiences in room 5. That was the first room we started in. To a point where I was actually laid on the floor, checking something out under the dressing table. I actually got on my hands and knees. I was on the floor in there. I will say, though, I do think a lot of the activity is possibly aimed at women. Mrs. Geek, yeah, we was having this discussion on the night, Tony and I and Beardo. Beardo was sharing his experiences about the last time. One of our theories is paranormal activity, although men do experience it, most kind of claims and activity is kind of around women. And we believe that women do create this certain energy. And I don't want to upset anybody by saying this, but like women that are going through menopause, puberty, and various traumas. A lot of what we've documented has been around women. So if you ever go to the haunted hotel, you are better off having women with you as well to build that energy up. But that's just one of my theories. Oh, what was that? You believe they're taking bookings soon for Halloween? It'll be full. You need to get in there if you want to go. You're going to blackmail Beardo with a smash burger. Who said smash burger? What's a smash burger? Is that anything to do with mash? Skadge, Dios, goodbye. Depending on funds and a date, I'd be up for most haunted hotel meetup, says Garth. Beardo saying, bizarrely, second visit and room 5 gave me nothing. Yeah. The thing is, I think we've said that as well. You can't guarantee paranormal activity. If it's happened there once, it's not necessarily going to happen again there. Although it's worth trying. And I think that's why you did room 8, wasn't it? Is that right about women? I've heard they can sometimes attract poltergeist activity in their puberty. Is they don't actually attract poltergeist activity; they create it. The human mind, there's still a lot about it that we don't know, and they create this energy, and we've proven it with an experiment. Haunted Lamba. If you check that out down our page, it's a few years down our page. We did it with women. We told them this story to do with the building. It was a true story. And when they went in the basement, when I sent them in the basement, all hell was kicking off. We did it again on another night with men, nothing. California hamburger pressed on a grill. Destination spooky. Cool. A smash burger, Mark. Ask Beardo. What's a smash burger? Smash is that fake mash you get in a packet, isn't it? And make it. You hope it's not true you're in menopause, Stella. It's just what we've documented. It's obviously everybody's different. I can't speak for every woman, but the cases we've been involved with, certainly mainly women. Mrs. Geek is saying, I will say I've experienced paranormal from young, and so has my daughter. My son has, but disregards it. Yeah, I mean, some people are naturally gifted. That could run in the family. Beardo is saying the smash burger is like the best heart attack in a bun. I might have to try one of those. To send me the recipe. Have we got a burger? Sorry, a video of a smash burger. You'd love to come out with us, guys. Mrs. Geek and Beardo. Yeah, I mean, we're talking to Beardo, saying that we'd love to do it again. Obviously, we try and meet you somewhere, so it's not so far for you to travel. But it's really, really cool because, like, I've lost track again. I always come off track. We didn't have a chance to kind of introduce ourselves to Beardo or the guys. They kind of just got us straight on the job after the interviews. So for like another 4.5 hours, we didn't really see Beardo. We saw him as we was crossing paths into different rooms. But it wasn't until they kind of went home that when we got our cameras out to do a walk around and that we had a chat. So it'd be cool. Beardo saying, Mark, I'd absolutely love to work with you again. Your scientific approach is brilliant. Yeah, I mean, to us, it's second nature because that's how we've always kind of done it. But it'd be cool, really good to get to do something with you guys again. So, who was that? SR Spookfest. I was hung on right before I was talking about someone from my way back when I'd been hung in a tree. And the spirit talker glitched and went into Spanish and said, I was hung crazy. Right. Gifted runs in your family. Yeah, I've seen that before. It does in our family. But it's with the men in our family. Well, my mum, she was a tarot reader, and she always, if she did the Grand National, she was always winning because she knew what was going to happen. That came down to me, and my kids are exactly the same. They're seeing her things. But it's funny that I don't actually use the psychic side when I'm investigating. I don't, only if there's a danger and I know that something's going to happen, then that's when it comes in handy. But PSI is more like evidence based, which is people say strange considering the background I come from. They also teach you spirit meditation in spiritualism, which can open your senses to this stuff. I'm not going to guarantee that works, though. Destination spooky. Yeah, like I say, on Wednesday night, we all went in as investigators and debunkers, and basically use science to figure out what was going on, even though we couldn't on quite a lot of it. If women create poltergeist activity, does that mean they attract a poltergeist into their space, so to speak? No, it means they create that energy through their mind, and it manifests and develops. That is a theory, anyway. Gaz, my mum's nan, my mum, my sister, and me, 2 brothers, not so much, right? You're from Bridgewater Triangle, originally Virginia. Oh, you're in Virginia now. It does run in bloodlines. I'm a claircognizant empath. What the bloody hell's that? Sorry, Brian. I mean, I've heard something. I don't know what you might have to break it down a bit for me. I mean, obviously, I know what being empathic and things are. Claircognizant. My auntie was a healer medium. She never charged, though. It was only known in the family, says Mrs. Geek. Yeah, when I was involved with the spiritualist church, we did a lot of like healing circles and trans mediumship. And we did things with objects, you know, like where you hold objects and as you're holding it, you write that. And I think we've mentioned before, we was involved in a few police cases in Hull, helping a family. Do you think floorboards may have triggered objects under them that could make the bangs reach beyond the paranormal? We do believe that the floorboards were moving, yes. A lot of heat expansion, and it was contracting and decontracting. Is that a word? Have I just made that up? You know, when it was getting cooler on a night, we did rule out a lot of the floorboards and the doors and the frames. So yeah. You've got a brilliant book on meditation, astral projection, and quantum mechanics. Oh, cool. Tina's saying, Beardo, if you ever come to Hull, you will have to come to our PSI barbecue. No. You get very drunk. Definitely need to investigate, to get together with whoever, you know. It'd be cool, that Beardo and Mrs. Geek. You know, female channel that's going to try an investigation, Tipsy, to see what happens. I can't wait, says Sarah. Sarah, we've actually done something very similar a few years back. When I lived in a different place, we would get together, and this is the days when we were debunking Ouija boards. And, you know, Aleister Crowley and his friends would get high on like opium, and do ritual and things that way, because it opened up certain parts of the brain what isn't normally open when you're kind of sober. And we kind of all got drunk before we did any kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody try this. It was an experiment, and that's what I'm going to stick to. And it's very interesting. There's nothing else. Zazen meditation is good for your blood pressure. Oh, cool. I'm actually seeing a cardiologist tomorrow. You do some Reiki. There's a book called Telectine Prophecy, great on helping see auras. All right. I think you can get certain glasses what are meant to be able to see, like what you saying, auras are like the biofield, the energy around the human body. And there's a camera biofield. Is it camera? And these are probably a name for it, and they're really expensive, but they can take photographs of the aura around your body. Weekend at last, Jolene. Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm off for 2 weeks now. I'm going to catch up on a lot of things. Sarah said, that's so cool you tried. Did it work? Yeah, ask Tina. She was part of it as well. Tina kind of got, I don't like to say possessed, but it kind of was when we was doing it on a Ouija board, and I had to bring her back round. It was quite funny, really, although she probably didn't find it funny. I'm not going to try shrooms on a ghost hunt. No. I would never recommend doing it. This, obviously, we're a scientific team. It wasn't actually an experiment, but it was a lot of fun doing it. I'm missing comments. Gaz, that would be cool. You love Skinwalker Ranch. I started to watch Skinwalker Ranch, but some of the guys on there annoy me. Just something about them. Your daughter has I can't even say that either, and she sees auras all the time. You have used every type of medium for spirit communication, but I do not use spirit boards, period. As well, Ouija boards are kind of just a divination tool. If you believe that demons possess them and that, it's not. I'm missing lots of comments. I do apologise. Well, Mrs. Geek needs to get into it because she thinks I have it, but it scares me. Oh, the Beardo would happily come to Hull for science and food. Yeah, science and food and beer. Can't go wrong. Ali Bell saying, I'm a weird mix of empath, introvert, extrovert, but sometimes I need to isolate myself and recharge. Right. I don't really try to label myself as anything. I do believe a lot of people have got these natural abilities. We was questioning, I think even these guys in the hotel were saying that they had 3 mediums round to do a series, and they kind of debunked these mediums completely. So many things all parrot. People really need to stop with a demon, skinwalker, banshee crap, says Auntie Kaylee. Yeah, there's a lot of, I think the paranormal twins that are a pain in the ass on YouTube. Everything's a demon with them. I think we've said that before, but Beer too, sign you up, Beardo. Yeah, excellent. You can get aura pictures. I would do that. Every person has a different one. Yeah, it's your biofield. If you type in biofield camera, you can buy them, but they're very expensive. That we haven't got one of those. I think they're about $3,000 and upwards. Brian doesn't believe in demons per se, but do believe they're energies and entities that can be harmful to humans. Possibly, yeah. Gaz is saying it won't. I wasn't messing with the Ouija board, but my ex-wife who wasn't at home, I'm sure that's when things started. Right. You're right about Poltergeist, the really good psychic medium. David Holt says that he's good. He's got a book called Are You Ready to Believe? Mrs. Geek has seen 3 mediums in her life. Super skeptical of your own experiences, but the 3 of them told me things that no one have known. It's odd. Yeah, I think all the time I was doing the spiritualist church, I mean, I saw a lot, and there was one who actually just come up with names that she couldn't have known, and told me things what she couldn't have known. I don't know how she knew it, but that's one in, how old am I now? 49. Considering Skinwalker's a Native American legend and only from one tribe, I believe. Well, Beardo saying, Mark, I'd just like to say how nice you and Tony are. Perfect gentlemen and company. Great investigators and people I could work with time and time again. Oh, excellent, Beardo. That's really nice of you to say. So that's what I said. That's what I think I put on one of your posts. I actually enjoyed meeting yourself and the guys from the hotel over the actual, the paranormal activity or whatever activity you want to call it. Because it was as if I'd known you for ages. I kind of, when we got out the car, we didn't know where to park. And I kept coming across to the pub. Then I was coming back to the pub. I think we knocked on the door. Nobody answered. So I was going back and I heard somebody shout. I turned around and Beardo stood there looking at me saying things. I just chatting normal as if I've known Beardo for ages. It was just like that. It was cool. I think we all got on really well. I think on the night, everybody made a really good team. It was good. But yeah, exactly the same thing. And I actually found out your real name, Beardo, as well. Yeah. I think Danny did say something about some other investigations other than the hotel that he was going to contact us, all of us again, to investigate because he thought we was all really, really good. They was sat in the control room and he said to me, I could watch you lot all night. He said, we've never had people in that do it like this. It intrigues you so much and you're 43, Mrs. Geek. I don't personally believe in demons as I'm not a religious person, but I will never mock people's religious beliefs like the twins do. No, I mean, if people believe in something, that's up to them. But I mean, if demons did exist, I would probably have to say that type of energy does exist because I'm religious and Christian. If I believe in one, I have to believe in the opposite to it, don't I? So Mrs. Geek wants PSI to come to my home to prove I'm not crazy. I don't think you're crazy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, cool. We'll come down to yours and Mr. Beardo's house. You've been a practicing pagan for 35 years, and although I've seen other people conjure up some serious scary stuff, I've never participated in dark magic. Paganism. Yeah, paganism was around before Christianity. It's an old kind of thing, but it's being added to over the years, I believe. People just add their own stuff to it. This is why, because people doing witchcraft kind of take things from different things and put it into their thing. It's hard to deal with it if something blows up, something evil, because you've got to know where that's come from. That part of the ritual's from. Where's that part from? So you know what kind of energy they're playing with, and sometimes it can be hard sometimes. SR Spookfest, Skinwalker from the most Native American tribes, because the Wampanoags, is that right? From the Bridgewater Triangle had story of them and had, and they wait for people in dark places, have sharp claws, right? Beardo's saying Tony is definitely a feeder. Every time I walk past him, he offered me food. Yeah, we always, if we're on a long investigation, we always take food and drink. I know he'd taken some. He offered me some. I think he had a tub of coleslaw, some like salami things, some chicken things, but it being out the fridge for a bit, and I was like, "No, you're right, mate. Don't want that." I ate the Pringles and the chocolate bars, and I think that's what you ate the same, didn't you? But yeah, we're both kind of the same. If we're just going out for 2 or 3 hours, we're kind of, you need that sugar rush, because sometimes you can get drained of energy for no reason, and it's obviously this energy, maybe I won't say feeding off your energy, but it's just exhausting. So we normally take like chocolate bar or some Haribo's and a bottle of Coke, just for that kind of sugar kick. Strong feelings about it. Maybe you know about them from a past life. I believe in reincarnation. I believe I was around in the 1800s. You have strong feelings about it. Maybe so. Mr. Rough Dog, there are plenty of mythical creatures from the Dark Ages in the UK, like brownies, Spriggans, Hobbs. It's just skinwalkers are the current trend. Yeah. I know there's a difference, isn't there, Gillian, between paganism and Wicca. Wicca is more up to date. It's new-ish in terms against paganism. What was his bloody name? I can't remember the guy's name. That kind of, I won't say invented it, but it is involved with Crowley and that. And it was basically an excuse to get naked under a full moon and just dance about naked. Nothing wrong with that. Like folklore pharaohs are kind of reminiscent of aliens of new, says Gaz. Cassie's saying, did you all have my haunted hotel to yourselves? We did. PSI and Beardo, and there's 3 guys from the haunted hotel. They stayed in the control room while us 3 were walking around the hotel in different rooms. And when they disappeared just after 1:30 in the morning, we kind of had a little wander around ourselves, filmed a bit, did like what we call a walk around, where it's like a mini tour. We go film in each room, and then we make it into like a tour on YouTube, so you guys can have a look what the rooms look like. Did anybody see the new Homo sapiens they found in a cave? I say they were like gnomes or elves because they're small but not monkeys. More human-like. No, I didn't see that. Beardo saying he offered us chicken at 3 a.m. from a bag. Thanks, but no thanks, Tony. He ate it and didn't punami through. You know what? He did actually eat that, didn't he? He was dipping this chicken in a tub of coleslaw, and it wasn't even chilled. It was chilled when we got it, but because we'd been investigating for like 4 or 5 hours, it was kind of room temperature. And like, nah, you're right, mate. You keep it. But we ate the Pringles and the chocolate bars. It's like 80% sugar, says Auntie Kaylee. You're 33, but you're really old school the way you live, Callum. When is our episode likely to air? He told us it would be 3 to 4 weeks. So you're going to be watching both the videos on big screen? Yeah. We're going to be waiting for Beardo's coming out. I think I don't know about Beardo, but I think I'm in two minds whether to release the one I did when I was in the room by myself trying to get to sleep, or wait while My Haunted Hotel have released theirs and then put it up. You would love to be hypnotized, see who I was in a previous life. I reckon serving wench. I've done some regression. I was regressed and I was in Scotland, but my family do come from Scotland. And I was like a farmer, but I'd gone out because there was poachers and it was thick snow, and I was trying to walk through this real deep snow. And then I had a pain in the back. I'd been stabbed in the back, and next thing I know, I'm laid face first in the snow, dying. But while this other person was obviously regressing me, they had to snap me out of it because I actually stopped breathing in modern daylight sort of thing. Barbie, yeah, I've heard about there's a new Barbie film out. I'm not that keen to watch that, to be honest. And to kill, I'm super excited for this. PSI, literally art epic, says Mrs. Geek. No, I mean, we were just doing what we do. We was really excited to see Beardo because Beardo's like the debunking star, isn't he, on YouTube? So he's like that. We're not worthy. You can't wait 4 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to look through something. I did take some footage. I might be able to come up with a video. What it doesn't give away anything. What happened on the night before My Haunted Hotel release it. I'm so tempted to try an investigation while I live somewhere local, but need to have a think about if I can really afford to buy all the cameras and stuff. The thing is, you don't need to have the most expensive cameras. The only reason we've got some expensive kit is because we've been doing it a long time. We've saved and spent money. Our TikTok channel pays for a lot of our stuff. I think I've got a 4K camera, but you can pick a 4K camera up for like £50. What was that? Beardo's planning on releasing his just after the hotel does. Recorded 8 hours of footage, so I need the 3 weeks. 8 hours each cam. Right. Yeah, you see, as we was investigating, Tony had his camera recording everything, but mine wasn't, and we also forgot to put our body cams on. We'd both taken body cams as well. It was only maybe the last hour and a half what I recorded, but I got some good stuff. Doodle, we can come up and record, yeah. frightening. I suffer nightmares and premonition dreams all of the time. It's scary, says Mrs. Geek. I tell you what, Mrs. Geek, what used to happen to me is I used to have like OBEs, not where you get awarded a trophy, but it was out of body experience. Not so many nowadays. And I knew I was asleep, and I could see myself on the bed, and I kind of float up to the ceiling. Next thing, I'm through the roof, and I'm in the sky. And it was always at night. I could always see the stars. And as I'm going through I couldn't control where I was going. I was kind of waving my arms about, and then I'd come crashing down to the floor, and I was back on the bed. Can anyone here see spirit animals? That's what Stella's asking. Everyone was a hero in the past life. Seems everybody was a pirate or Cathar, or an Egyptian prince. I know what you're getting at, Mr. Rough Dog, but when I got regressed, I was just a farmer in Scotland. I was just an ordinary person. Smash Burger and Ghosts. That sounds good. Yeah, so if Beardo and Mrs. Geek know of a location, obviously what's not too far for you or for us, we'd gladly meet up and investigate again. Because we didn't really get much of a chance to see how each other investigate, because as we was in one room, Beardo was in another, and then they kept swapping us about. So yeah, room 6. I know Beardo and Mrs. Geek know room 6. It's where there's a big pentagram drawn on the floor with a rocking chair in the middle of it and a big 4-poster bed. That is the room I slept in. Beardo had something happen to him in there, and I wanted to experience it. And it was a big room, so it was somewhere to keep all the equipment at night as well. And I got what I asked for because I just could not sleep all the way through the night. I think I got 3 hours sleep, if that. Ellie Bell, no worries. I'll see you again. There's a man in your room or a black shadow, Mrs. Geek, is there? It's funny you should say that. When my mum was pregnant with me, she would see a shadow of a man with a hat. And this is where years ago, PSI started the shadow man or the hat man. I won't say legend. What is it? Like urban legend. But it was based on like a true story because it came from my mum being pregnant with me. There was a guy with a hat on. It was a shadow. And she said it was a man, even though she couldn't see his features. It was always around the house. It was in the room. Just there all the time through her pregnancy. She could just see him. And it ended up that the house we lived in, I mean, it was an old house, a big terrace street. At the end of it, there used to be an undertaker's. And it was like the old type of undertaker, what you got, with them, I don't know what hats you call them. Is it trilby? Not a trilby. I don't know what it was. And we traced it back to kind of being that. But they'd knocked it down, but that energy was still there. So we think all the other houses in the street were having the same problem as well. You got bounced off the bed. Terrified you. You know, if that still happens, Mrs. Geek, you set Beardo's camera up. And does your camera have like a motion sensor on what will record? If you was to leave that by itself and you was awake, you was awake. I mean, obviously there's some history to your house. Have you researched the property and the ground that it's on as well? Stella, you felt as though you died on the Titanic. Why was that? Brian, no problem. See that what Beardo's just put. I got regressed. If I got regressed, I'd have been a Doberman, angry and licking my own baubles. SR Spookfest. My first real grab was last night. I have felt the spider web feeling before. Last night was full grab. Even felt warm for a while after or tingly. Right. So everybody's having these experiences, aren't they? We all need to start documenting what's going on. Ellie Bell. Yeah, I agree with what Beardo's saying there, because we was there and we know what happened. Infrasound doesn't explain Beardo's camera capturing what happened to him. That wasn't infrasound. And it couldn't have been infrasound. Anyway, the way the rooms were shaped and they got doors on, there's no way that was infrasound. No history, it's attached to you. Right, okay. Have you ever been to any kind of development circle, Mrs. Geek, to help with that? Yes, I had ready at my spiritualist church, the psychic medium Lizzie Cook does spiritual animals. You could choose loved one or animal. I chose a loved one, and my dad came through, but the animal's accurate. Right. You'd never put your home out on the internet, but I'm open to others coming to investigate. Yeah. See, that's when you know it's genuine. Not like the smug puppies where, oh, we don't want people here. Don't want them walking around the house. If you were desperate and you wanted answers, you would have people. But I know what, I wouldn't want everybody walking around my house, to be honest. But being that desperate, I have before had to involve a priest and things. Bumfluff Paranormal. My mum and dad saw the Hat Man too. He wears a hat and a suit and glasses and walking stick. You've lived with him since he was 7. Oh. Lindy Lou, take care. Gaz experienced things since going through puberty on and off across the years. Wow. Yeah, Mrs. Geek. I mean, it's up to you, but if you wanted to kind of get help with that, it might be worth speaking to some kind of psychic development kind of school or class. That's what I did when I was about 18. And they kind of pointed me in the right direction, but after that, I went my own way, sort of thing. You just need answers, right? Gillian, I have some photos of my grandson Kristen, and my mum can clearly be seen, but she passed. Wow. I mean, that's the type of evidence, isn't it, that you want? Okay. Mrs. Geek doesn't want them to be taken away because it's comforting mostly. We've cheered you up when you've had a bad week. Well, I hope your week does get better, Callum. Hi, Mark, and all in chat. Any idea why numerous tarot readers, mediums, Past life regression people and psychics refuse to give a reading. Refuse to give a reading to a person. So strong is the no that the money is refunded. Sometimes it's hard to read people, I suppose. And I've known readers give refunds then, but just to refuse. It depends. If the person wanting a reading was kind of, some people give off, I don't want it to sound bad, but like I'd say bad energy, or like an energy where they're like putting up a barrier, because some people can feel that. Readers will feel that if you're putting up a barrier, because although you want a reading, you don't want them to read too deeply into your life, basically. I don't know. Gillian, you want to send me the pictures? Just a second. I better put my email back up. This isn't my Gmail. This is my personal email on top. It's already out in public, so people are all right to email me on it. I'll just pin that. To anybody needs to contact me, any kind of paranormal thing or along them lines, that's my email pinned to the top. Oh, Beardo, what do you think about Grace the doll? Do you think Grace is haunted on what you... I know what you experienced in room 8, but obviously, do you necessarily think that was the doll, or that was something else in the building? This is a Hotmail. Yes, it's an old Hotmail. I use Microsoft quite a lot. Do you read my email I replied back to? Stella, did you? I get a lot of emails. If I've missed it, I might have to resend it. Was it on the Hotmail or the Gmail? Because I very rarely check the Gmail account. Yeah, put the pen down. Pick the fidget spinner back up. Mrs. Geek said, Mark, I will get an email to you rather than taking up on... Yeah. You think I'm the person? Okay. Yeah, just email me. No problem. Hotmail, yes. Mark T. Lindsay at hotmail.co.uk. But Stella, no, I don't think I have seen that. If I've seen your email, I normally do reply, yeah. It might take a few days, but I do with a Hotmail. Oh, Mrs. Geek, thank you. You didn't have to do that. But yeah, anyway, much appreciated, Mrs. Geek and Beardo. Thank you very much. But certainly no need to do that. Yeah, that's what friends do. I feel as though, like I said when I met Beardo, that I've known him for ages. Yeah, thank you very much. Bless you. Oh, Beardo saying, I don't know about the doll. Yeah, Mrs. Geek, just email me. I can talk if you want to, because I know how things can be, that you don't want people to know on a chat. I don't know about the doll, but something there scared me for a few seconds. Everything else made me look further, get excited. that event for a few seconds actually scared me. Yeah, do you know what, Beardo? When we was talking to you about that, and it had just happened, and you was telling us, I actually thought that had kind of got to you a bit, because I saw your face and the way you were speaking at the time. But the doll, I think it would have been good if we could have taken that doll out of the case, and examined it and just ran a few little experiments on it. Maybe another time, but that would have been good, because yeah, I know it was actually chain. The case had big chains over it, obviously to stop people pinching the doll. But yeah, I did speak to Danny about the doll actually, and he did tell me a few things. I won't say what he told me, because obviously I don't want to spoil anything for anybody else. Certainly nothing was fate. Just because I think I connect to you. You understand paranormal, and you are epic. That is really nice thing to say, Mrs. Geek. Thank you. You're not welcome at your church because of your interest in the paranormal, Stella. Well, I'm welcome at my church. I actually minister in the church, and the vicar that is actually training me, he knows my paranormal history, and he is the first who will get on the phone to me if he needs my help. The thing is, some of the church need to kind of get with modern day times, don't they? People do have these issues, whether it's paranormal or not. They need to take that on board, and if people do come for help, that help has to be there to be offered to them. Was it a recognised church, or was it just one of these random churches that had popped up? Harry seems like real fun at my haunted hotel. Do you know what? I didn't get to speak much to Harry. I was talking to him about the land that the hotel sits on and the history of it. And also when we went into the control room, we was asking Harry questions. Yeah, he was top bloke. He seemed nice enough. The Bible frowns upon it, Stella. Yeah, but ask yourself this: when was the Bible wrote? I mean, New Testament stuff, you're going over a couple of thousand years. Old Testament, even longer. The church are doing the best to kind of get with the times. Although the Bible's there for guidance and that, you know, people have come on. Lots of priests and clergy believe in the paranormal. Church of England. I mean, I'm with the Church of England. I'm registered with the Church of England. If it was our church, we wouldn't turn you away at all. Depending we'd have to speak to you about what was going on. Obviously, advise you, should I say. I'm an absolute legend. Thank you. He was married, baptized, and confirmed, right? Catholic. The same priest. Which one is the one with the sexy, mysterious voice, Cassie? Which one do you mean? At the haunted hotel? Jesus was raised from the grave. Mrs. Geek, you don't trust many people, but you're drawn to me. All right, that's very nice. Thank you. I do try and help people if I can. You can get exorcisms in the UK from COFE. It's not like the TV stuff with the local vicar. It's specialised and processed before they will send someone to you. Right. I don't know. I mean, there's different things. You see, exorcisms, or the need of an exorcism, is very rare. To prove that somebody's possessed, that's going to take some doing. Obviously, it'd be the Catholic Church for the. I don't like to say exorcist. It's for the priest, but very few priests are trained in that, to be fair. Especially in the process before they send someone to you. Well, I've been involved in a case in our church already, and if Tina's still watching, she laughed about it, but I had to take it seriously. One guy came up to me, because I am the safeguarding officer in the church as well, so I have to look after the community. He came up to me and said, I'm having problems, and he knew that I was a paranormal investigator as well. I said, oh yeah. He said, yeah. I said, well, come in the corner, we'll have a quiet word, because I didn't want anybody to hear what was going on. He said, I'm having problems, paranormal problems on a night. I said, oh yeah, what's kind of going on? He said, things come out all night. They come to me. I said, oh yeah. He said, and they rape me. So I'm like, right, okay. And when he said that, I caught the eye of the vicar, and I waved the vicar over, and me and the vicar was in the corner chatting to this guy. He was getting abused by demons, according to him, but after going into conversation with him and people in the area, he actually does suffer with a few mental issues. So I had to take that into consideration. And, I heard everything he had to say. Everything's wrote down, the case is wrote down. And the vicar was saying, he's got issues. I said, he may have issues, although he's using a story of being raped by a demon. He could be getting abused by a family member, but his brain is seeing it like that. So I said, we need to check this out, even though it may not be paranormal, and get the right kind of people in to deal with. Obviously, if it was any kind of sexual attack from his family members, or if it was just kind of mental issues, sort of thing. Yeah, there's a lot what goes into it. I mean, I haven't told any names, so I'm okay. Religion is weird, says Kaz here. Tell me about it. Have I got the break off, Jack? What break? You believe we are one consciousness having different experiences, says Callum. The priest wouldn't come to your house. I don't know why. There must be a reason for that. Because, they don't just turn people away. They must have a reason. Good call, Mike. Yeah, Akariku back from having a bath. So yeah, every kind of case is different. Even though, like I saying, it may not be paranormal, but there could be underlying issues there. There's been a few in that church. I can't really talk about, but that was one because it involved this guy saying he was being raped by demons. Gillian's just emailed me 2 pictures. Okay, Gillian, thank you very much. And I think I asked Beardo afterwards in the morning if he had any kind of paranormal issues in that room what he slept in, and he was a lot like me. He didn't get much sleep, but he put it down to being, obviously it was really hot. It was, in fact, it was so hot. We only just had to have t-shirts and that on. So he put it down to that, and it obviously being a strange place. But I had things happening through the night. And I was when I was talking to you in the morning, Beardo, I don't know if you're watching, but I was actually, you saw I had a camera in my hand. I was actually videoing your experience there as well. But I think I'm gonna, like you, I'm gonna wait while my haunted hotel have put theirs out, and I may get maybe 2 to 3 videos out of what I recorded. What are my thoughts on Bolensky House that has been renovated as a tourist destination? You mean the one in Scotland where Crowley stayed? I've been listening, just not able to comment. All right. Callum's loving it. Gillian, yeah, that puts a lot of people off when they're young. They have religion rammed down their throats. We never did that with my youngest Mason, who he enjoys coming to church. He helps out. I've given him a little job. He puts all the little robes on as well and helps me. But I've never forced him to do anything with the church. He's always just wanted to do it. And that's where people go wrong. You know, never force kids to do any kind of religious thing, because as they're getting older, they'll start rejecting religion. When religion's not meant for that, it gives people peace. And when they've got nobody else in their life, it does help. It was a Catholic priest who wouldn't come to the hospital for first rites to my dying father-in-law. I can't understand that, Stella. I honestly do not know why. He must have had his own reasons. Was he part of that church as well? Was he part of the parish? Right, what was my first ever paranormal experience which made me start investigating? I've got one memory from being 4 years old. I think I've told this story before, when my mum used to take us up, and back then I shared I shared a room with my older brother because we was only small kids. And on a night, she'd take us to bed and she'd turn the light out, but she'd leave the landing light on and the door slightly open. Very old house. I could see faces going around the room. I was always screaming, and my mum come running up. What's the matter? I said, I can see people. I can see faces. She said, you're dreaming? I said, I can't be. I'm still awake. I haven't gone to sleep yet. Same thing all the time. And it was only kind of later on in life that I found out that my mother was gifted. When I say gifted, she could see in things and that's why it was passed down. But I never had much help with it growing up, because I don't know. I don't. If I'd have asked for help, maybe I think my mother would have, but she didn't know how to. That was the thing. Mrs. Gibson, don't wait to put it out if you have it. The guys at the hotel don't expect anyone to wait. Beardo saying, yeah, I knew you were recording as long as my bathroom scene doesn't make it. I didn't get as far as the bathroom. I kind of knocked and you went, yeah. So I just opened the door, looked to grab the camera, and then you went, I'm just in the bathroom. So, oops, wrong room. Did he catch you licking your baubles? No different churches. My husband was Catholic, but we married in the Church of England. Yeah, for that particular priest to come, you've kind of got to be in that parish. So you would have had to go to the church in that particular parish to get help for last rites and things. Akariku, thanks for sharing. No, just a memory what I can remember. Beardo was made to go to Pentecostal church, hated it until I found out about the party rings and sausage rolls. Jokes aside, being made to go made me not go. Yeah, exactly. I've never forced it on any of my kids. Like I say, my older two kids live with the ex, but Mason lives with me and Tina. He likes going because he's got a little job. I don't force him at all. If he doesn't want to come, he doesn't come. Just comes when he feels like it. You're right. People need to have the freedoms. You, the only Christian that is okay with people having opinions and beliefs. It's such a relief. Why can't more Christians be like you? Some people, some Christians go word for word for the Bible, but even the priest, the vicar what's training me, he'll tell you the same thing. It was written over 2,000 years ago. We've come on a long way since then. You've got female priests now. They're even doing gay marriages and things. That was a big step to get that to happen. Some people are taking it a bit farther. They are trying to kind of change it with the Church of England, and it's not the church wanting to change. People have complained that, obviously, I mean, you all know the Lord's Prayer where it says, "Our Father, which art in heaven." They're trying to get it changed from "Our Father" to just something what isn't masculine, because they feel like women are being left out, non-binaries are being left out, all the other different whatever people are is being left out. I thought you cannot change history, you know. Do I ever see faces when I shut my eyes at night, but not when asleep? Stella. It's hard to explain. Tina would tell you more. She lives with it. Through my life, I've had a difficult time with it, to be honest. It's never gone away. In fact, it's got more. A lot of people say it's a gift. To me, it never really was a gift. You know, it was just something what was there. Gaz is saying, I did the same with my own kids, despite Mrs. wanting them christened. My one son is 16, started to go to church group with friends, all good. Yeah. Not every church is bad. Yeah, I had Mason christened, but he was a bit older and he wanted to get christened. You're worried about burning in hell. Why? Stella, nobody's perfect. Every one of us on here has sinned at some point, and sin doesn't necessarily mean you're going against one of the 10 commandments. A sin could be just a thought, and you think, "Oh, I shouldn't have thought that." But everybody's sinned at some point. We're not going to burn in hell. We're all good people. We all try and do what we can for everybody, and that's what it is. It's all about loving each other, isn't it? It's our Spookfest. Got to cook. Have a great one. Take it easy. That's going too far, Kathy. What's going too far? I've got street map. Which part's too far? The Bible's meant to be read symbolically, not literally. That's where people wrong. Possibly symbolically. Yeah, everybody gets out of it what they want to get out of it, I suppose. Everybody's different. For years, you didn't eat meat on a Friday, on Good Friday. Yeah, my mother was like that with us. She always did us fish. Can I still remember the faces? Says Akariku. You know, a lot of stuff goes on. It still goes on. I can't remember the faces now. Well, Stella, you know, all I can suggest is that, you know, find a different church. They're not all like that. The Bible does say don't mess with things like that. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember which part says something like that. I should know this. I know it says you shan't worship any other idol other than God. I can't remember off the top of my head. Gillian saying, hell is a man, his man made it was basically to keep peasants in their place by scaring them with the devil. It's one way of looking at it. Would I recommend the Ancient Ramin? You're doing it in October. Have I been? Yes, we have been. Reach Beyond the Paranormal. Tony and I hired the whole place just to us two, and we had a really good time. I will say, when we did it, though, it wasn't as active as what my haunted hotel was. Beliefs. Rules against wearing two types of cloth. Huh? Yeah, I mean, belief, I don't know what you'd want to call it. The hardest thing, I mean, I don't really want to get into religion on a paranormal channel too much, but it's, I think the word is faith, and getting that faith is very difficult. It took me years. Mark, can I? Wow, I've been chatting for an hour and a half. What time is it? 10:03. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the live. Have I got 2 weekends off? Have I got 2 weekends off? If I'm off work, I'm always busy doing something. You've enjoyed tonight, Gillian. Oh, excellent. It's Corinthians, is it? I should have known that, considering I'm training in theology. No, Stella, you're not a downer. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the only advice I can give you is try a different church. Obviously, you like your paranormal and you like the church or the religion side of it. Find a good church. That's all I can say. I'm just sorry that happened to you. Haunted Hotel is special. Hello, Lisa. Sarah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I want a smashed burger. Cassie, it's been good, Matt. Thank you, and thank you, Beardo, Mrs. Geek, and chat. Oh, you want me to? You're watching Messi play, right? Football on. No, thank you, Mrs. Geek, and Beardo as well. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, we've got some, like I said, Beardo. I think I'm going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to keep it until my haunted hotel's released it. Oh, thank you. I love this great stream. Yeah, yeah. Anytime you guys want to investigate, let me know. You've got my email up there, or I mean, you can contact Tony if you wanted to, and you know we'll investigate with you. It'll be cool. Be good to meet you and have a proper chat. We didn't get much of a chance at the hotel. Akariku, no problem, thank you. Cassie Bullfrog, thank you. Cheza. Oh, I've got to come up South Shield for a smash burger. Fun chat. Thank you, Gaz. Yeah, so I'm going to go through my footage, Beardo. I will email you if I find something in that. In fact, I want to send you some of that what went on in the room, because I want to know if what happened to me in that room is the same what you got, if you know what I mean. Beardo should start a stream now and tell us the real story about the bathroom. Honestly, I walked in because he went, yeah, and I thought it was, yeah, I've just got my camera, but I couldn't see anything because the bathroom was well in the corner. Right, Akariku. Jolene. No, you're not too serious, Stella. Don't worry about it. Sarah saying we're talking in code. We just don't want to give anything away until My Haunted Hotels put theirs out. Yeah. Definitely work with you guys again, but meet beforehand and chat, etc. Yeah, definitely. It'd be cool. Yeah. And if Mrs. Geek wants to email me, it's up there somewhere. Send it over. I'm very interested. Yeah. It really annoyed me on that, because you know when you just want to go to sleep and that thing was happening every 9 or 10 minutes, and I was getting up, I was checking the camera. I thought, what is this? Best stop the stream. You're beginning to unfold under questioning. Yeah. Night, Jack. Good night, Gaz. Good night, Stella. Absolutely love this. Good night, Mrs. Geek. Thank you. Thank you for what you sent as well. Good night, Cassie. Good night, Beardo. Good night, Jolene, Sarah, Lisa, Stella, Jolene, Akariku, Jack, Taz. Good night. Thank you. You've all been great. See you soon.